Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of WAKO Kickboxing Talks. Today, our guest is Mr. Romeo Desa. He is the technical director of WAKO, a person with a very strong background as an official, as a referee, as a promoter in WAKO, in both the tatami and the ring. And just for a little bit of an introduction, uh, a technical director is responsible for managing and applying many technical rules, as well as development in WAKO, developing strategies, giving suggestion to the WAKO board, and many other things. So welcome, Mr. Romeo. It's very nice to have you here.
Thank you, Željko, and nice to see you again. I hope that we will have some possibility to see you live and discuss a lot of things.
Yeah, me too. So let's start with the first question. To become an experienced individual in WAKO, you must have had a long, long journey. Can you tell us more about your personal journey in WAKO and how you got all the knowledge that you have today?
In this moment, I think it's very long time. In 1996, I start to work in a Croatian National Federation as a young referee because I want to follow my son. My son was a kickboxer in a point fighting, and I want to be close to him. Also, I want to show my son, firstly, my son, that everything is possible if you work hard and if you are dedicated on your work, if you are dedicated on your task and or your goals. I start uh, as a referee in point fighting, and my first international tournament was World Cup in Piacenza, what was organized by Mr. Gianfranco Rizzi. On this tournament came President Ennio Fassoni, and he saw me how I'm doing, and with the president of referee committee, chairman of the referee committee on that time, Mr. Flavio Brivio, they gave me international license. And then I start my international career. After that, first, let's say, international duty was on the World Championships in Belgrade, 2001. On that time, I met first time I met my big friend and my colleague Srđan Bugarčić. In 2002, Mr. Fassoni, President Fassoni, nominate Srđan and me and as a technical director, Srđan for the rings and me for the tatamis. We became in 2003 in the World Championships in Paris. Srđan, me, and Mr. Jens Walbersdorf from Germany, we became first member of the organizing committee.
Yeah, it's a long and impressive history. And as we already mentioned, it's been a long time since you started working here, so you gained a lot of experience and everything. Would you say that the challenges back then were more difficult than the challenges you face today?
In that time was some things what I, let's say, did not understand, and I have a lot of questions, and I try to translate from different languages how to help to my colleagues, referees. Every time I ask Mr. Farsoni, can you explain me this, why this? And also I ask many of coaches, referees on that time, Mr. Flavio Brivio, Mr. La Rosa, Oriano De Bay, Alfredo Zica, and I learned from them. But all the time I ask, and I started to work with the rules. Just to know, by education, I'm an engineer, and all my all my life in the work, I worked with the procedures. Procedure must be very precise because in a petrochemical complex where I worked, the safety, security, technology, environment protection, it's extremely important. And every step must be very, very precise and very well explained.
It was a long, long journey of you developing those rules and everything. Would you say that there was a particular milestone that you felt within WAKO, not only just in the technicalities, but generally that you see brought us to a new level?
As I remember in 2003 in Paris, we have a first meeting with the International Olympic Committee. First time they came on our World Championships to check us, to see who we are. some let's say Olympic recognition, something like this was very, very far away from us. But we started to work. Next step was in 2006 when the GAIFs, the sport accord, recognized us as a sport. We became the full member of the guys. We should make some agreements with the other federations, and then we start as a unique WAKO federation, kickboxing federation in the world. We got temporary recognition of the Olympic Committee. And usually this temporary recognition should be 3 years. But after 1.5 years, we got full recognition. 10 months after that, we got invitation for to apply for the Los Angeles Olympic Games 2028. We finished on the short list. I think just first below the line. And okay, now next step will be Brisbane 2032.
Yeah. Always the eyes on the prize. Uh, so everybody in WAKO knows you as a very calm and how should I say, a patient person. And under all of the stress that I'm sure you face every day, how do you manage that? How do you give yourself enough space to relax and be calm and patient?
Yes, sometimes I feel inside some burn, and I let's say learn how to cover this. But first of all, what is the most important for us? Athletes and competitions. And this is how I try to manage all these problems, how to be friend with all the people, how to help the athletes, and how to keep this friendship atmosphere. We are family.
Yeah, yeah. It's an impressive way that you can uh, sit down with yourself and the burdens that you carry on your own, you don't project them onto others. It's very impressive. And all of the other members of the board, yeah, they do that too. Just now you mentioned the safety and the well-being of athletes, and we all know that's one of our, if not the ultimate goal in WAKO. Can you tell us more about the safety equipment and the decision of the WAKO board for the mandatory labeled equipment from 2025?
Yeah, this is one thing what I'm working several years from 2018, I think. I'm working hard every day on this, and this is and I must tell unanimous decision of the WACO board. Second, I want to clarify one thing. All this story about equipment, it's about safety, only about safety. First of all, we check each piece of the equipment. We check all the documents, or we ask from them all the certificates. And then we test on the competition, on some competition. Usually now I'm testing on the Croatian national championship, sometimes on the World Cups, how athletes during the fight use those equipment. And we can guarantee to our fighters, if you use on a proper way, you will be safe. That is the most important. If they use this equipment, they will be safe on a proper way, according to the rules, according to the procedures and everything. Then we decide to introduce the labels, and each equipment which has our approval, which passed all this procedure, will have label. This is a label. Maybe I can show you. This is a label. This is a protected infrared, some infrared protection, and we can control. We have two sizes, and sorry, and on each piece of the equipment and clothes which pass the procedure will be this. And from the January 25, 1st January 25, that will be mandatory. And fighters cannot fight in equipment and clothes without this label. Board made this decision in the beginning of the 23. Unanimous decision on the beginning of the 23. after 1st July 2023, they have to use these labels on each part what they want to sell to our fighters and clubs, whatever. And next step, it's 1st January 25 to fully implement this decision.
Yeah, that was a very big decision and must have been a lot of hard work going through the process of getting the approval for every single piece of the equipment and everything. So yeah, it's very impressive. And for the end, can you select the most important tasks for the near future that you are focused on right now?
The most important task is to finish our rule changes. We accept last rules in the 2022, and we said we will use these rules 2 years, and we during this period we will collect all the proposals to improve the rules, to change some rules, and that we finish this process 2 years. And in these years, we start to coordinate and to synchronize all these proposals. I hope that in a few months we will propose to the board new rules, and then we will publish before next year. Second thing is to finish equipment book, because we have some new suppliers, some new sponsors, and those they have to be in the new equipment book. Third thing, it's continuous working on the calendar, and we try to synchronize all these wishes of national federations and continental federations. But we are working very hard with the big multi-sport events like World Games, like European Games, like Asian Indoor Games, and all of this should be coordinated, World Combat Games, and that is. And finally, what pressed me maybe most than all others things, it's technical handbook. I must be honest, I start to write chapters, and in this moment I have 52 chapters of this book. I have to speak with the organizing committee, with technical committee, and then after that we should athlete committee also, sorry, coach committee. This is important committees, and then after that we should start with the, let's say, filling with the text and the regulations in all these chapters.
Oh, in one word, you have a lot of work to do.
Yeah. But I like this. I enjoy this.
Yeah.
Everywhere we should improve and implement all of this, what we plan, what we are doing, what we expect. That is.
So this will conclude our interview. Thank you so much, Mr. Romeo, for being here today. It was an honor.
Thank you for this opportunity to explain some things to our members. Thank you.
Thank you for being here today, and I do hope to speak to you again very soon here. And thank you to the viewers for watching this episode, and see you in the next one.